Budget.
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 Budget. Budget.
Every nation's economy is like a ship at sea, constantly navigating the currents of growth, investment, and prosperity. But what happens when the winds change and the storm clouds of deficits and debt gather on the horizon? Deficits and public debt, words that often evoke fear, uncertainty, and visions of economic collapse. But is this the full story? Or is there more beneath the surface, something we're not seeing? A fiscal deficit is more than just a gap between what a country earns and what it spends. Like a family taking out a mortgage to build a future, governments borrow not just for today, but for tomorrow. For new highways, schools, hospitals, building the foundations of a nation's future wealth. But as debts stack up, so do the questions. How much debt is too much? And when does borrowing for growth become a burden for future generations? The answer lies in the delicate balance between borrowing and growth, risk and reward. The higher the debt, the greater the risk of rising interest rates, choking investment, and crippling future opportunities. Like a ship navigating stormy waters, nations must manage their debts with foresight. Too much weight, and the ship risks capsizing when the next crisis hits. Too little investment, and it risks stagnation, drifting aimlessly in calm seas. The journey through deficits and debt is not one of despair, but of strategy, balance, and foresight. When managed wisely, these tools can steer nations toward prosperity, building a future not just for today, but for generations to come. Debt management strategies. In the world of global finance, managing a nation's debt is much like steering a colossal ship through unpredictable seas. The waves of opportunity and risk are ever-changing, and only through careful strategy can a government chart a course towards stability and prosperity. Debt is not inherently bad. Nations borrow to grow, to build, to invest in their futures. But the key is how that debt is managed. It's about balancing the immediate need to finance development with the long-term responsibility of paying it back without sinking under the weight. The first step in this delicate dance is choosing the right instruments. Just as a seasoned captain picks the right sails for the journey, governments must select from a range of options: long-term loans, short-term debt, fixed or variable rates. Each choice carries its own set of risks and rewards. Active debt management is where the art of navigation truly shines. It's not just about borrowing, it's about constantly adjusting, refinancing, and restructuring. Like a captain adjusting the sails to catch the changing winds, governments must respond to the evolving financial landscape to secure better terms and reduce costs. But the seas are not always calm. Economic downturns, global crises, and rising interest rates can hit without warning. A successful debt strategy involves not just vision, but anticipation, planning for the storm before it strikes. In times of distress, diplomacy becomes crucial. Negotiating with creditors for better terms, rescheduling payments, or even securing debt relief can make the difference between stability and collapse. It's a delicate dance, one that requires trust and mutual benefit. Debt management is not just about numbers on a page, it's about foresight, strategy, and agility. By balancing risk and reward, nations can steer their way to a prosperous and stable future. Financing options, domestic versus international. When a nation faces the challenge of financing its future, it finds itself at a critical crossroads. The decision is more than just numbers on a page. It's a strategic game, with high stakes for the economy and the generations to come. The question is, do you draw from the well of domestic resources or seek the vast capital rivers of the international market? On one side, domestic financing, like drawing water from your own well, means raising funds within the borders. Government bonds, taxes, local bank loans, all familiar, all under the nation's control. It's a choice rooted in sovereignty and stability, sheltering the country from the volatility of foreign exchange risks. With domestic financing, the currency remains stable and interest rates stay within reach. It develops the local financial market, keeping investments and growth firmly rooted in national soil. But there's another option. Tapping into the international marketplace unlocks a river of capital flowing from every corner of the world, foreign investments, loans from international institutions. It opens the door to larger sums at competitive rates to fund the most ambitious projects. Yet the global route is not without risk. Currency fluctuations can turn an affordable loan into an expensive burden overnight. And with the money comes conditions, pressure from external creditors, and the potential erosion of economic sovereignty. Whether choosing to stay close to home or venture into the international market, the key is balance. A well-diversified strategy can protect against risk while unlocking new possibilities. The art of financing a nation is in knowing how to blend both paths, creating a sustainable future without sacrificing control. Financing a nation's future is a journey, one that requires foresight, wisdom, and the right moves at the right time. Whether drawn from the well or the river, the goal is always the same: to secure the prosperity of the present while paving the way for future generations. The role of credit ratings in financing. In the vast, unpredictable sea of global finance, trust is the most valuable currency. And at the heart of that trust lies a signal, a beacon, that guides investors through the risks and rewards of international markets. This signal, a country's credit rating. Assigned by credit rating agencies like Moody's, Standard & Poor's, and Fitch, credit ratings distill a nation's financial health into a single, powerful score. It's a rating that can elevate a country to new economic heights or drag it into financial distress. A high rating is a seal of approval, a signal to investors that the country is a safe harbor for their capital. With it comes lower interest rates, greater access to funds, and the promise of growth. For governments, this rating is a golden key, unlocking the doors to international markets. But the same system that fuels growth can also spark financial storms. A downgrade in a country's credit rating can send shockwaves through the economy, raising borrowing costs, shaking investor confidence, and threatening a cycle of debt. One downgrade can set off a chain reaction, impacting not only governments, but businesses, public services, and the lives of everyday citizens. Loan rates rise, investment dwindles, and economic uncertainty grips the nation. But a credit rating is more than just a number. It's a reflection of a nation's story, its struggles, its achievements, and its future. An upgrade can signal the dawn of a new era, a vote of confidence that the country is back on course. Sustainable debt practices. In the vast tapestry of our global economy, sustainable debt practices stand as a beacon of hope, a guiding star for nations striving to cultivate growth while maintaining financial stability. This journey is not just about numbers on a balance sheet. It's a commitment to nurturing a prosperous future for generations to come. Imagine a country as a thriving garden where debt serves as the irrigation system, essential for growth, yet requiring careful management. Just as too much water can drown roots and choke growth, excessive borrowing can stifle economic potential, leading to financial distress. Sustainable debt practices are the balance that keeps this garden flourishing. Transparency is vital. It allows stakeholders, creditors, investors, and citizens to understand how resources are managed and allocated. Public-private partnerships, PPPs. Imagine standing at the crossroads of innovation and tradition, where the sturdy foundations of public service meet the dynamic pace of private sector efficiency. PPPs are more than just contracts. They are bridges connecting the strengths of the public and private sectors. Together, they embark on a journey to deliver infrastructure projects, provide essential services, and develop innovative solutions to society's most complex challenges. In an era where public resources are often stretched thin, PPPs offer a lifeline, mobilizing private capital for the greater good. This influx of investment accelerates development across infrastructure, healthcare, and education, ensuring that vital projects don't languish for lack of funding. But it's not just about funding. It's about fostering a culture of accountability. However, the path of PPPs isn't without challenges. Navigating successful partnerships requires a delicate balance, transparent agreements, and mechanisms for conflict resolution. When guided by foresight and care, public-private partnerships can transform communities. They represent a new paradigm of cooperation, where collective action and shared goals illuminate the path toward a brighter, more prosperous future for all.